Hi, welcome to my first YouTube video. I recently went through a program called Coming Out Proud to eliminate the stigma of mental illness. We learned how to disclose our mental illness through telling our story, and I wanted to share my story here. My name is Lori, and I have a serious mental illness called schizoaffective disorder. I'm the sixth of 7 children, and I've always been socially anxious. I had an older brother who developed an untreated psychotic disorder when he went away to college, and I was 15 years old at the time. And he never got treated. He just was picked up by the police. They would hold him for 72-hour observation, and then they would let him go. And when I was 21, he was 26, and he got picked up in a different county, and they put him on lithium, and he was doing well, and everyone told me, you have to see him, he's doing really well. And so I went up to visit, and he wasn't doing well. He was really paranoid and anxious and skittish, and I was nervous around him. And his medication just needed to be adjusted. It wasn't quite right then. But he went hiking, and either it was a suicide or it was an accident, but he fell and he died, and it was very tragic. But that was my image of mental illness, was you get sick and you never get better. My psychosis started when I was 39 years old. But when I was in my 20s, I was crying a lot. I had anger. People told me I should talk to someone, and I thought it was their problem, not mine. Rarely I would get euphoric. One time at work, I broke into song about how much I hated my job, but mostly it was more paranoia. I would stay indoors. I would go to work, come home, and then on the weekend, just to kind of peek out and make sure no one was there, go get my mail, and then come back inside. And I would accuse my boss of having secret meetings if they had a meeting on the day I wasn't there. And then when I was 39, I started having auditory hallucinations and delusions, and I got to the point where I couldn't talk, and I was writing things down but not talking. And my family took me away from my home because they thought I shouldn't be around my children, who were 2 and 4 at the time. So they took me in a car and started driving to Northern California. And I got really nervous because I didn't know why they were taking me away from my home. And so when we stopped, I got out of the car and ran away from them. And I went to a mini mart and told them to call the police and get me away from my parents. So of course the police came and they took me away, and my parents showed them my medication, so they didn't think I was on drugs or anything. They knew that I had a mental illness, and they treated me very well. They called an ambulance, but they took me to a hospital that was more kind of like a holding facility, and they had like a row full of cots. They would pull it, push in a cart with snacks on it, and you were pretty much supposed to take care of yourself. And that's hard when you're psychotic. I didn't see the psychiatrist for a long time because I didn't know where to go. And it wasn't until I was wandering around, because I heard voices of people I know, but I couldn't see them. And then someone brought me over to the psychiatrist. And then they diagnosed me with bipolar disorder, and it took a while before my diagnosis changed. And my delusions were more like the Truman Show, where I felt like people were watching and following me, and like it was a play or something, and I couldn't break through that fourth wall. And there was product placement, and I felt like people I know were sending me messages through the media, like through the TV or through the newspaper. And the symptoms didn't go away all the way, quickly. I had on and off psychosis for several years after I was diagnosed, even when I was taking my medication. And I've had questions about reality since then, like what was real about what happened, but I can put it aside and go about my day. And parenting was hard because I'd get real tired and I'd get distracted. And the side effects, I'd tremble, I have dry mouth, the weight gain, and I have anxiety that's just been ongoing. Some of my accomplishments, I've been married for 18 years, and I was married for 7 years before I had that psychotic break. So my husband didn't sign up for this, and he's been very supportive, and I love him, and that's going well. My kids are teenagers now, and they're great kids. I don't know what we did, but we did something right with them. I volunteer for NAMI and DBSA, and I want to attempt to work. I've been sending out applications. I don't know if I can. I haven't worked in a long time, but that's something a goal. Some unfair experiences I've had. I haven't had too many because I choose who to disclose to. It was hard for my parents to really understand, even though they've seen mental illness and we've had it in other family members. They've gotten better. People have told me I'm taking too many medications. I am on quite a few, but they seem to work for me. And I've had people give me strange looks when I tell them my diagnosis. But, like, they won't say anything, but they'll kind of, like, their eyes will bug out. And it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But I just want to be treated the same as anyone else and not viewed based on stereotypes. Thank you. Goodbye.